Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our second episode of Cashin Tickets and Making Money here on ncnewsonline.com. Ron Poniewasz, and we are talking the NFL divisional playoff round as we have now 8 teams left. 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday. Hopefully it was a profitable week for everybody last week. It certainly was for me. Pretty much the only one that I can remember losing was Tampa Bay's loss against Dallas, as I had a nice 3-teamer all set to cash, and Dallas kind of ruined that one. Jacksonville getting there against the Chargers, that was quite a sweat. The Giants beating Minnesota, that was fun to watch. Anytime Kirk Cousins loses is fun. And again, that if you hedged out of it, played my plays from last week and hedged out of it like I recommended, you still made money. You didn't make as much as you would have if you would have hit that parlay. First off, as we talk this week, there's a few areas to go over. First off, teasing games. I think this week we're gonna invest in some teasers, and that's, again, like I mentioned last week, is manipulating spreads, totals and point spreads. Also, now that we have 8 teams, kind of look around and see what you like for future bets. Future bets on conference champion. Right now, I kind of like the spot that Kansas City is in. I think everybody will look at that, the vast majority, and say, will Kansas City defeat Jacksonville? Probably the answer is yes. Doesn't matter how much they beat them by, but that puts them in the AFC Championship, and then you have a good hedging opportunity. So if you were to bet at plus 145, I've seen plus 150 on the Chiefs. If you were to bet $100 on the Chiefs at plus 150, you get your 100 back plus 150 more. And then going into the AFC Championship, assuming that the Chiefs are playing in that, you can take the other side money line to win, either the Bills or the Bengals, and that gets you a profit. You just have to know your bankroll and know what your bet was, so you don't go over your means of what your original bet was. And lastly, before we talk about the games, we got some exotics that are available this week, and you're going to see more of these as the conference championship games roll around in a week, and then certainly the Super Bowl. And right now we have at DraftKings Sportsbook, they have different specials like home teams minus 24.5 or road teams plus 24.5. And essentially that is, at the end of the weekend, will the home teams cover that spot of 24.5, or will the road teams cover that spot of 24.5? So you have to ask yourself, will any road team win? Yes or no? And if not, will they all lose by a tame enough spread, low enough that that 24.5 fails to cover? I kind of like the road teams plus 24.5. Dallas could get there. The Giants might surprise. They could get there. Who knows about the Bengals on the road? So taking the road team with 24.5 looks kind of juicy, and the juice is 10 cents both ways, minus 110, so nothing to worry about on the juice. And Bet Rivers has a really interesting prop. If you look around on your apps, again, shop around, you'll find a fun one. Brett Maher to miss an extra point. In Monday night, he missed 4 of them and ran a streak to 5 in a row as he missed 1 to close the regular season. So if you take the yes on that, that would be a winner if he misses an extra point. And then there's other things on there like fat man touchdown, an offensive lineman to score a touchdown. Will a quarterback have a receiving touchdown, or a running back to throw a touchdown? Things like that. So those are fun things to bet on. Those will be more available next week on the conference championships. Let's dive right in here. Game number 1 is Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Jacksonville at the Kansas City Chiefs. The line opened as Kansas City by 8.5, 52 points on the total. It's still 8.5 at most places. Now it's 53, so it's ticked up a little bit to 53. Jacksonville's defense, your last 8 games, 7 of these are regular season games. So going back farthest to the most current, these are games points that they allowed: 27, 40, 22, 34, 3, 3, 16, and 30. So if you add all that up, that gets to a 21.8 points a game average. And if you throw out the 2 games that they allowed 3 in, and that was against the Jets and the Texans, 2 10-cent football teams essentially, now it ticks all the way up to 28 points a game. So why are we looking at that? Well, if we think that the Chiefs are going to win and they're going to get their fair share of points, well, that's 4 touchdowns right there. We think the Jaguars are going to score also, because they've put up their fair share of points in games like that also. They've had 34, I believe, in a game or 2. They had 31 last week. So I like the over in this game, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Kansas City Chiefs. I also think that the Chiefs could cover, even though that they've struggled covering spreads this year. Their first covered spread in an AFC West game this year was the regular season finale against the Raiders when they won 31-13. So in divisional games, even though this is not a divisional game, Kansas City went 1-5 against the spread. So that's not good when you have numbers like this. So tread lightly on giving 8.5. I definitely like the over, but it's starting to move. So the further it moves, the longer you wait, it's going to get worse for you, as it opened at 52 and it's now 53. However, I do like teasing the total. Tease it down and also tease the spread down. And we'll talk more about that on the next game. The Giants at the Eagles. New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. This is 8:15 p.m. Saturday night. It opened Philadelphia -7, and it did not stay there long. There was enough money come in to push the spread up to 7.5 for the Eagles, and it opened 47 on the total. It's now at 7.5 for the spread and 48 on the total. This is a game that if you find a dance partner, and that dance partner would be the Jaguars-Chiefs game, you can tease the Jaguars-Chiefs spread down to 2.5. So Kansas City giving 2.5, you're good. If that goes overtime and it finishes on a field goal differential, you cover. Also, if you tease the spread down, or excuse me, the total down from 42 on a 6-point teaser, you're teasing it through a key number of 49. It'll be down to 46. And the Giants game, if you tease down 7.5, you're essentially just saying, Eagles, all you have to do is win. You're teasing it down to 1.5. The hook could get you, certainly, if they win only by 1 point. But we think that the Eagles will get there with the 1.5 if it's teased down. And also, if you tease down the point spread, essentially, if you say the over, it teases it up. Well, I really think if you tease it up, that'll tease the number will come down, so that'll go 41. And same with the Jaguars Chiefs. If you tease it over, the number comes down, so it'll come down to 46. Again, there's going to be points in that. There's going to be points in both games. So let's go to the Bengals and the Bills. This is a 3 p.m. Sunday afternoon game. This opened Buffalo -4, 49.5 points on the total. It's now ticked up to 5.5 for the Bills in most places, and 48.5 on a total. The under would be in play for me. I like the under. I'm going to play the under 48. There could be wind in this game, which also could be kind of treacherous for the passing games, especially. And Josh Allen is known a lot of things lately, and one of them is interceptions. He knows how to throw interceptions. So look for that. If you can find a prop on Josh Allen to throw an interception, maybe if you can find one to throw 2 interceptions, take it, because that should hit. On Sunday night, the final game of the weekend, we have Dallas at San Francisco. This is a 6:30 p.m. Sunday night game. We have the 49ers -4.5, 45.5 on the total. It's 4 points right now in most places, and 46.5 on the total. The under 46 looks really good, and mainly because both teams have good defenses. I think that's kind of contrarian by a lot of people. I think a lot of people might be taking the over on this game because of how the offense is played, especially Dallas on Monday night. But because there's two good defenses out there playing, I really like this game to go under. It's Dallas's 4th straight road game. So take that into consideration when you take San Francisco. You could also tease this one down, but if you do, that'll give you San Francisco at a plus number, and that never bothers me when you tease a favorite into a plus points scenario. I like San Francisco in this game to get the job done. You know, the Cowboys fans have been pretty excited about their win Monday night. Most excitement I've seen around the Cowboys since Brokeback Mountain. So, and here we are, the end of the divisional round. This is what we have for you. Again, shop around for great totals, great point spreads, and things like that. The over/unders this week could be kind of tricky. Certain games should go over, some should go under, as we touched on. And teasing games would be real easy to find a dance partner. A two-team teaser, tease the Chiefs down to 2.5, tease the Eagles down to 1.5. You can also tease the totals in both of those games, and you could probably do that in the Philadelphia, the Dallas game for sure, and the Buffalo game, because when you tease. When you say they're going to try to tease them down, you're clicking the over, but putting them on a 6-point teaser. It manipulates the total down, so you're getting a good number, or manipulating it up. So with the Bengals Bills being at a 49.5, you tease it up. That's clear through 55.5. So that's really good if you want to put those on teasers. So that's what we have this week. Hopefully your bets were good last week, and remember to bet responsibly. And don't go over your means, and we'll see you back here next week for the conference championship games right here on ncnewsonline.com.